Walker from The Quest for It, and we are backstage at Malan Breton, Spring 2012. We are here with the head stylist for this show, Levy. And tell me a little bit about what your duties are this evening and how you came to be the particular stylist on this show.
Well, I've known Malan socially, and we've seen each other out, and I've always admired his work, and I was put in touch with him when we were speaking about Fashion Week. So we had a meeting, and we decided that I'd be styling the show. The one thing that was already set was that we'd be using United nude shoes, which I happen to be wearing also this evening. My responsibilities for the show were pairing a lot of things together, general styling. I'm going to be putting all the shoes with every look and just making sure that everybody looks absolutely flawless.
So what is the inspiration, as you know it, for this particular show?
There's an ongoing spiritual theme. We have really, really unique prints that were actually originally photographs that were printed onto the fabric, and there's a lot of butterflies. The colors are unbelievable. We're starting off with black and white, and we're transitioning into blues, and then we're coming into neutral colors, and then browns, and then going back into black for our finale.
We are still backstage at Malan Breton, Spring 2012. We are talking with Supermodel Jaslene Gonzalez. She was the winner of America's Next Top Model Cycle 8, and she is walking in the show. So it's been a while since we've seen you, but we're glad to see you here. How did you get cast for this particular show, and what's it like to be involved with Malan Breton?
Oh, well, it was a pretty easy process. I had a casting, and I walked in, and I've seen Malan many times before out in the scene, but we never worked with each other, so it was a great opportunity now that I went into his casting and he casted me.
But being that you're well known from being on the show, how does that affect your modeling career, or how has it affected your modeling career? Has it been everything that you thought it would be?
Yeah, well, I think it's affected me in a professional and personal way. I've evolved in every aspect of modeling, and I think it's built of such a great platform, in a way where I never thought I would think that I would be a businesswoman, I would have a brand, and I would be, this famous. Ultimately I just wanted to model, and I've received more than that.
Hi, this is Tia Walker. We're still backstage. We finally got the legendary supermodel Irina Pantaeva. Hi, how are you?
Great, thank you.
How did this come about? And you're not doing this frequently anymore, so they're very lucky to have you. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you very much. I always, I first of all met Malan from day one. So I remember him from Project Runway, and I thought how talented this guy is. And what I specifically admire about Malan, besides that we have become dear friends, that he's very creative, truly creative person. Not only designing beautiful collection of clothing, men's and women's clothing, but creating a whole concept, creating a whole story, creating a whole show. And after all, it has to be entertaining. And that's what Malan does.
And we're back. We have designer Malan Breton at the backstage of his Spring 2012 show. Malan, give us a little bit of indication of your inspiration for this season.
The inspiration comes from two elements: the natural wildlife photographs of John Aiden, and then it also comes from the elements of the new moon and sort of a rebirth and a new life, and kind of the idea of taking one chapter of my life and going into another. And so this is kind of like the next chapter on.
And the color palette?
The color palette is it's got a very muted, sort of darker color palette with strong pops of gold and some patterns and things that I've never worked with before.